So you said in your speech that neither Bitcoin nor Ether would be considered securities and thus not under the purview of the SEC. Can you very briefly explain what your reasoning is?
Sure, Bob. These are complex facts and circumstances tests, but when we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter where applying the disclosure regime would make a lot of sense. So we're comfortable in some sort of viewing these as items that don't have to be regulated as securities.
And guys, straight to the bat here, this makes a lot of sense to some people, but to the majority of the world, this makes absolutely no sense. This entire video here, which spans about 4 minutes, to me, is really peculiar. Guys, I've been checking this out for a good while right here, and man, oh man, is this interesting. So John Deaton, rightfully so, has found this clip, and he says, absolutely, conclusive and irrefutable proof, William Hinman intentionally misled the public as director of corporation finance while at the SEC. Watch the 4-minute clip and then read the brief that follows. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am not a legal advisor, not a financial advisor, and in no way, shape, or form am I trying to say that these guys are deliberately doing something wrong. What I am saying, though, is that by looking at all the facts that have been presented to us, things are quite vague. And when you watch this entire video, he, in a couple of different parts, calls out cryptocurrencies potential for or hope for, that he basically sees a good future in this technology. He also says there's a couple of different occasions in which they really can constitute as a security, and some other cases when they really can't. And it's a case-by-case basis, so it's difficult. But one of the things which he does also state is that if there's actually a product and whatnot that is really being used, because they go into some deeper questions in this, which I can't show for copyright, I don't think, that it might not be a security, which is where Ripple could fall in. But let's quickly see what John wrote. This video is hopefully not going to be too long. There's just a couple of things I want to share about this. John Deaton, Sologenic, and then some hacks, really crazy stuff that just happened, really big deal. On December 13th, 2017, Hinman had a meeting with Ethereum Joseph, from Consensus, or Consensus, I guess, and lawyers from Sullivan & Cromwell, which is Clayton's law firm. The next day, December 14th, Matt Corva of Consensus with lawyers from Sullivan & Cromwell said that they were building an alliance with the SEC. 6 weeks later, on January 25th, 2018, Clayton meets with Chris Dixon and Anderson and Horowitz of A16Z and instructs him to put together a group within the industry and write up a memo. Perkins Coie and members of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance led this group of Ether investors, and on March 26, 2018, attorney Lowell Ness of Perkins Coie sent Hinman a memo and safe harbor proposal. The only crypto asset mentioned in the safe harbor is ETH. 2 days later, March 18th, Ether investors meet secretly with Hinman asking for a regulatory free pass. And on April 23rd, the SEC meets again with Lubin and Consensus. On May 25th, Lubin states that he was making great strides with regulators. On May 24th, Lubin claims he could have issued tokens in ways detailed in Hinman's speech, which hasn't been delivered yet, so that was kind of strange. And on June 8th, Consensus meets with the SEC again. Lubin commented how the market needed the SEC to scare some projects away, and 6 days later, on June 14th, Hinman gave his speech and declared that ongoing sales of Ether were not in violation with the US SEC's laws. Incredibly, he then goes on to CNBC with Bob Pisani, and he says, we at the SEC don't see a third-party promoter when looking at Ether. For that statement to be truthful, he must have been blindfolded during all his meetings with the co-founder of Ethereum and founder of Consensus. Because one of the things which he basically states in this little interview of his is that if there's a certain party which you can kind of put your faith in and trust in that are going to be promoting this specific thing, cryptocurrency or whatnot, that they're going to create more value for it, then it's basically a security, potentially, depending on a couple of different factors. And he doesn't really put the caveat there, and a caveat in our own opinion would be that if they have a working product and working on their own, it could work on its own, then that kind of doesn't go up anymore. But he basically says it in a really vague manner where you cannot really use too much of it. Then do remember, though, this is most likely from years ago, as the Bitcoin price over there in this video is roughly about $6,600 or so right here, you can see. So it's a long time ago, not exactly sure when. but it's a little interesting find, a little interesting clip, and I thought it would be pretty cool to share. All right, before we move over into the Sologenic stuff, which I want to show you guys because I'm pretty excited about that, and we have some other... Oh, okay, let's actually say here, Ryan Taylor said, well, Gary Gensler tell me that this interview was just his opinion. When this blows up, and it will blow up, Bill Hinman, DC, looks like he's going to be disbarred for perjury, I don't know what that, perjury, shameful lies, as we had to suffer for them. Digital asset investor, and you tagged him. I wonder what's going to come out of this, as some older proof is coming out, which is definitely peculiar. It's been shared today. You can see people are going trending about it. And I honestly recommend you all to watch this video for about 4 minutes or so. It's a really beautiful clip, and I'm also going to retweet it so you guys can see it over on my Twitter, which is TheDustyBC. All right, go check it out over on my Twitter. Then, second thing is apparently a freaking huge list of crypto YouTubers and crypto guys got hacked. Breaking. Dozens of crypto YouTubers have had their accounts hijacked by hackers promoting a fake crypto giveaway scam. Hacked accounts include Ivan Otech, Box Mining, Anthony Pompliano, Anthony I can never pronounce his last name, Antonopoulos or whatever. Mooncarl, BitBoy, Crypto, Allcoin Buzz, Floyd Mayweather, Crypto Banter, and even Coin Market Cap. So this is not a small feat. Not exactly sure how they got this done or what happened. Because again, you guys know, we focus on the crypto space really heavily on security. So to me, it's really interesting how so many of these guys could get hacked. Not just one where it's like, oh, but so many of them, did they press a link somewhere where because I've seen a lot of different methods in which a YouTube account can get hacked, right? But it kind of feels to me as if these are just really high tier hackers where even if you have your account secured in every possible way, shape, or form, which I think the majority of us have nowadays, right? If you have a YouTube account, that's the worst thing to lose, so you do everything you can to protect it. Every single restriction you can put on, you try to put on. How could such a huge list, Floyd Mayweather for sakes, you would kind of think that they know how to secure themselves properly, right? But I'm actually going to call up some of these guys a little bit later, or actually text them maybe, just to ask what exactly happened, because I'm thinking must have maybe been what happened to the verified Twitter accounts before, where it's just a hack on such a high front that you could have done nothing about it. But if my channel ever something happens, guys, make sure you just check me out over on Twitter. If something ever happens and you're like, whoa, this doesn't look like the normal Dusty stuff, make sure you check me out over on Twitter, because that's the first place I'm going to be putting every single detail or a problem. Also, if my channel ever gets deleted, I'm putting my complaint over on Twitter so we can actually retweet that and get the account back. But this is so peculiar to me. I'm so confused as to what happened or how it got there. It's really crazy. But please, guys, never send any fake giveaway stuff, video, money. Obviously, if you guys have been into crypto for a little while, you're probably already you've already seen these scams, basically, where they say, you send me one, I send you 10 back. But still, let me tell you guys once more, don't fall for them. Even if it's your favorite guy to watch on YouTube, don't fall for it. Don't send them money, because that type of giveaway, it just doesn't work in real life. It's not there. All right? Just quickly warning some other people. And then last but not least, about Sologenic. Man, I've been doing some research the entire, I guess, last hour or so, what people have been saying. I've just been reading a lot of comments. We're happy, this is Sologenic, to announce that the distribution of Solo Airdrop has started. You can check the transaction as soon as they happen in real time over at that link, which I'm not going to press because I'm susceptible, I'm a little bit skeptical right now. Considering the number of transactions, this may take a few days to be completed. And the long story short about this one is it's going on. So you might get your Sologenic from the airdrop at any one of these points, which again, the snapshot was last month. But, and that's actually a very crucial point, it's not all happening at one point. So it might actually be that you're going to get it over a couple of days, as some of the guys here, and again, this is the internet, so everything that I read is correct, right? Some of the guys here said that it might still take about 4 or 5 days if you've claimed through Ledger to get your money. 90 hours. So Average John says, within today and 90 hours forward, you'll receive yours if you held on XP Ledger and not in an exchange. I'm not exactly sure what they mean with XP Ledger, because obviously you held it on the XP Ledger in any way, shape, or form. Even if you held it on an exchange, you are holding it on the XP Ledger. So not exactly sure what he means with that. But I think he means if you had private custody. Then again, if you had it on an exchange, which I had for some of my coins, then you most likely have to wait a little while. And yeah, I'm seeing so many people say, oh, I didn't receive it. I think you just have to wait. Wait 5 days. If it's still not there and non-exchange has said anything, you start looking a little bit weird. If the exchanges say nothing anymore instead of we're looking into it, yeah, then we'll have to get into action potentially. But I think for right now, it's all fine, still along the schedule. It's a little bit later than expected, but the airdrop has started. So piece by piece. I haven't heard anybody who's actually received it though. Not gonna lie. So that I do not know. I've literally seen 0 of these people. I've only seen some people say they've gotten the smallest of the smallest amounts. I received a tiny amount of Maxim. Not sure if the lines are being tested for the full amount though, because yeah, it's going to be an interesting little discussion. Some guys said, well, the number basically changed really significantly in the last couple of minutes before the airdrop, but I checked those numbers and it didn't really look to be that severe, where if you had, for example, 1,000 solo, that you only should have gotten about 1. So the proportions either are really strange that something happened, or they're just busy with all of this, but I think eventually we'll get there still. So all I can say is just let's wait, let's see. Either there's something wrong or they're doing some really shady shenanigans. We'll have to see though. I didn't really care about Sologenic from the get-go anyway. It's just free money. That's the way I see it. So we'll see. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you've actually received your tokens or if you're still waiting. All right, put it down there, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.